What's up, everyone? I'm IAMOBG for TastingSkills.com, and this is your booze news. Our first story today is, of course, the Mountain Dew Hard Seltzer. Yes, please. Yeah, you heard me right. It sounds so good, and it comes in 4 flavors with an ABV of 5 and 0 sugar, of course. And you can get them in traditional flavor that we all love, but there's also black cherry, Baja Blast, whatever that means, and watermelon. Now, I haven't tried these, and I cannot wait not to try them and just pass over this whole seltzer category. And as the war continues in Ukraine, the Xstar distillery has restarted production after it had stopped when the war broke out in February. Yes, this distillery has an annual production of 150 million bottles, and with the reopening, well, they did tell Belarus to take a walk, and they've removed all licensing for making any vodka from Belarus. And the fun part is that they did not do the same thing as the Brava brewery that is located in Kiev that has decided to stop making beer and just produce Molotov cocktails. Yep, that's right. I sure hope that this war ends soon here and we can all move on with our lives. I am praying deeply for this to be over. And this week we got some really big news since Provi, a third market app, filed an antitrust complaint against Southern Glazer's Wines and Spirits and RNDC, which are the 2 largest wine spirits distributor in the country. In the filing, Southern Glazer's and RNDC have illegally blocked retail orders communicated by Provi, illegally barred retail from using Provi in an effort to control the market and the market data. Yes, this is the first case since the White House, Treasury Department, Federal Trade Commission, and of course the Department of Justice identified abuses in the alcohol distribution industry. The lawsuit cites 3 main concerns, including blocking and rejecting orders for their wine and spirits product that retailers choose to communicate through Provi, boycotting Provi by forcing or coercing retailers not to use Provi, and in the case of Southern, forcing retailers to use Southern-owned e-commerce marketplace by requiring all online sale to come through their own online marketplace. Now, Southern sent a letter and left a voicemail, of course, to the retailer, stating they will no longer accept orders transmitted by third-party e-commerce platforms such as Provi or any other for that fact. And on the RNDC side, Alan Rosenberg, General Counsel, stated that RNDC will continue to promote and steer our customers towards using our own e-commerce platform and away from Provi. Now, I can tell you that this is a big one, and this could really reshape the rules and laws on the 3-tier system, meaning that we could see a lot more access to other platforms demanding access to shipping directly to consumers. Now, before we keep going, let me jump in right here and tell you, do you want to taste like a pro? If so, head over to TastingSkills.com, put your name and email into the magical yellow box, and I will send you my free 17-page guide to the fundamentals of tasting. But only that, if you want to learn my 10 top tips to tasting like a professional and setting up like a real professional tasting, well, I've made a video about it and there's a link up here. You can go and check it out. All right, now on to some marijuana news. Since, yes, Congress, the House, actually passed a real thing. Yes, they passed a bill that has legalized nationally marijuana. But will it pass the Senate? Or will it even get vetoed or signed by Uncle Joe? Since, you know, he's infamous for giving us the war on drugs and telling us that marijuana is a gateway drug. If it does pass or not, well, I'm sure that we're all praying for it to actually happen. And in Maryland, it appears that they're heading towards legalization since they're gonna do a referendum on it. And I'm sure that it will pass since the people of Maryland, well, they're not crazy, and they're not old, and at the same time, they really don't think that this is a gateway drug. Seriously, come on, people. And in Missouri, the House has legalized the use of cannabis for adults, and I'm thinking that they also don't think that it's a gateway drug, but What do I know? And since we're on the topic of marijuana, well, did you know that the average price per pound right now is $1,242? Yes, it's down 18.7% since last year, according to Cannabis Benchmark. So it's a lot cheaper to get high, which I'm all for. And finally, we have the TTD that once again comes out and says that there's a lot of misinformation in the alcohol industry and especially on websites. And they're going to try to put some regulation on there so that consumers can really understand what is going on. Since a lot of these websites, well, they're claiming that there's a lot of health benefits when it comes to their product. They claim that it's an aphrodisiac, that there's anti-inflammatories in there, and so on. And that brings us to Hold My Beer. Yes, you get all kinds of health benefits by drinking alcohol. And it's a growing trend since the past 10 years has really defined the market. I remember about 10 years ago, we used to see gluten-free on all these vodkas. And I can tell you from experience, there's no such thing as gluten-free because there's no gluten in any distilled spirits. Anybody that's claiming that, well, they're just full of shit. That's just the reality. Get the hell out of here with your gluten-free. And seriously, if that's the way that you're trying to market your product or to be relevant, well, you need to do a lot of thinking. Consumers are looking for simple things here. A good story, who are you, what you do, how you do it, good packaging, simple to the point, not complicated, don't need gluten-free and anti-inflammatory and whatever, all that bullshit. And if that product isn't working and you're not getting distribution, well, that's on you. You need to go back to the drawing board. You need to figure out what you're doing wrong and you need to fix it and fix your product. All right, that's gonna do it for me. IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Please remember to share, tell all your friends, give it a thumbs up, go down there, put all the comments that you want, rip into me because I just love replying to morons online. Otherwise, my friend, please remember, stay sober. Peace.